Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video we're talking about PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, Fire Emblem, and more. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off here talking about PlayStation 4 emulation with FPPS4, and there's a new way to install and get started with FPPS4 that makes the whole process a lot easier. It's called the TL Installer. It's by igir. It's available on GitHub. It's free, it's open source, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. The process is simple and straightforward. You download the latest release, unzip the apps, and you're pretty much good to go. So basically, TL Launcher combines Temmie's Launcher and FPPS4 into one nice bundle. It's pretty amazing and great for those people just getting started. And speaking about getting started, next up we're talking about Nintendo Switch emulation on Android with Skyline. And Fire Emblem Engage just released, and well, it's already playable on Skyline. Incredible. I teased this one in yesterday's video, but the video is up over on Easy on the Eyes' YouTube channel. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. In the event that you want to see it in action, feel free to check it out. Now, yes, there are some graphical issues, and yes, it's not even close to being perfect, but at the same time, a day one game already booting in Skyline is a huge achievement. And the kicker here is that was with a debug version of Skyline Edge version 24, and Skyline Edge version 26 has just released. This is the paid testing early access version of Skyline. So Skyline Edge version 26 brings about some fixes and optimizations, for example fixing a bunch of texture issues in games and reducing pipeline cache memory usage by a considerable amount. And the kicker here is that the Skyline team didn't even stop there, they just released Edge version 27 as well. And this should allow The Witcher to go in-game and possibly Mario Strikers. So here is Skyline Edge 27 up and running, and well, here is The Witcher 3 up and running. And the same person may have Hades up and running and looking pretty decent. And here's the exact same person again, Belmont, showing Mario Strikers in-game, getting between 14 to, I don't know, close to 30 frames per second. There are some texture issues, but this is a massive improvement. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is showing some great progress. Now, as I've said before, and also in a bunch of different videos, Skyline Edge is the paid testing version of Skyline, and as soon as those bugs are worked out, things are tested and things are solid, they get released to the free mainline version. In fact, the free mainline version just got a brand new update. So if you head on over to skyline-emu.1 and click on download, you'll see the version here. The latest one at the time of filming is version 1772. And this works the exact same way as Yuzu. They push something to the testing version. As soon as it's solid, it gets pushed to the mainline version. It might take a day, it might take a week, it might take 2 weeks. But generally those changes make their way over to the mainline build. And for the latest mainline build, Hades is up and running, just missing a few graphics. And something possibly even more encouraging, someone was able to get Persona 4 Golden booting, not playable, but booting with a MediaTek Helio P60. Incredible. Now, it's absolutely no secret that for emulation on Android, Snapdragon chips are king, and by a very wide margin, especially when it comes to more taxing emulators like Aether SX2, Skyline, and probably even Vita 3K. It is nice to see some other chips working with Skyline, and hopefully the developers continue on with their magic here and make miracles happen. And speaking about miracles, or possibly not making them happen, next up here we're talking about Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy, the definitive edition on Steam that just released. Apparently Rockstar still hasn't patched these games to work out the bugs. Some ordinary gamers had no problem calling them out on Twitter today, and I'm assuming we're probably going to see a whole bunch of YouTube videos showing broken gameplay in the near future. And speaking about the future, next up we're talking about the future in a very big way with Persona, and this is all thanks to Reset Era, or Resetera, or subscribe to Mr. Sujano, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Anyways, here Persona 3 Remake and Persona 6 are reportedly far along in development, with reveals planned this summer, or reveals planned this summer, depending on whether or not you understand Atlas. Next up, we're talking about the Nintendo Switch, the actual hardware. And according to Bloomberg here, Nintendo plans to boost Switch output to meet resilient demand. I'll drop a link to this article in the description below, and I do recommend checking it out. In my opinion here, if Nintendo is ramping up production on the Switch, I don't think we're going to see a Switch 2 this year. The Switch came out around 5 years ago and it's still going strong, actually even stronger. There's not really an incentive for Nintendo to announce or reveal a Switch 2 just yet. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And speaking about comments, or at least typing a lot of stuff, last up here we're talking about a brand new ROM collection manager. It's a CLI, command line interface, and it's called igir. So this is free, it's open source, it's available on GitHub, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. Version 1.0.0 just launched. They say you can scan for DATs, ROMs, and ROM patches, organize ROM files, name ROM files, filter out duplicate ROMs, extract or archive ROMs, and more. You can do a lot with this. igir is available for Windows, Linux, and Mac, and if you're comfortable with command line interface, you might want to check this one out. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a lot today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.